All right, y'all, it's your boy Kuya P. I got my pal Heather, and of course my man John Jones, Peach Review. We just got out of the press screening for A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Initial thoughts, Heather?
Apparently I'm completely different than them. I enjoyed it. It was a very sweet movie. Yes, it was a trauma dump, but it was a trauma dump in a good way and a way to grow, a way to get better. Those are my thoughts.
All right, John.
Okay, they market it as this feel-good movie. You're going to feel good after you work through all your past traumas. And then after the movie's over, you're going to FaceTime your mother.
She made it sound like we hated it. We did not hate it.
No, I did not.
But it is a trauma, PTSD of life type thing. It is life. Mm-hmm. That is what this film is. We're going to definitely have a full review about this. Colin Farrell, I was about to say Colin again, Colin. Margot Robbie, Kevin Kline, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Phoebe Waller-Bridge was amazing. And Kevin Kline, I didn't even know that was him. But amazing. We're going to have a full review. So stay tuned for our thoughts and our dub. Shout out to my man, John Jones, Peach Review, Heather Hurt, Kuya P, Nerds Rule the World.
Nerds rule the world!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the NRW, where Nerds Rule the World. I'm Heather Hurt. That is Kuya P. And this is our first review in like 4 months because...
I wouldn't put it that. We aren't that delinquent.
We are.
Are we?
More I'm delinquent. You're not.
Wow.
Okay. I've been traveling a lot. Kuya P has been really busy. He's actually going to like 3 or 4 screenings a week, guys. We're actually getting a little bit bigger.
This week, 4, homie. Crazy.
Yeah,
4 in 1 week.
It's actually great news. It means that we're doing more. We can give y'all more content. We just have to be in a digital room together, and that's hard. So with that, we have been on this very long journey to get here today. I finally got to go to a screening. I was really excited, especially when it's with Colin Farrell. Kuya P knows, he understands, he is one of my hall passes. But let's start it this way. Let's see the trailer for A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey.
I love that.
Hi. Are you here by yourself?
Margot would be on my hall pass.
I am.
I have to submit Exhibit Blonde to my wife.
I am.
Sure.
It's funny how the most beautiful places make you feel the most alone, you know?
Maybe it just depends on the person you're with.
Remain on interstate for 249 miles. David?
Sorry, are we talking to each other now?
Do you want to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey?
Yes?
Do you remember?
David?
Happy together, don't you?
Pick up Sarah.
I do.
My car won't start.
Mine told me to pick you up.
Your accent, is it real?
You think I'd fake an accent?
The most beautiful places make you feel the most alone.
Oh, that's a pretty good me, actually. I'm flattered.
I don't wanna go.
In 1.5 miles, take the exit.
What is that? What do you think's behind there?
Dead bodies! Maybe we should go through it.
Everywhere I go leads me back to you.
Oh, wow.
Are you going to tell me what's going on?
I don't know, but I think I've been here before.
This is unbelievable.
I think that's the entrance to my high school. Wait.
What?
You know, high school.
It's okay. It's okay.
Said forever and I almost bought it.
You're late. Come on. How old am I? 15. I'm 15.
Cool. How old am I?
I don't know, 40?
I'm gonna kill you.
I tell her I love her. She says I don't love you. Oh, feels exactly like it felt that night.
This one's for me.
Mom?
I miss you. This isn't real.
Well, it feels real to me.
So what is it that you want, David?
I want to go back to when I thought everything would work out for me.
Nice to share this with someone. But however this plays out, it ends in me hurting you.
And what if I hurt you?
You are capable of being happy. You just have to choose it.
No matter who you are in your life, we just need someone to share it with.
Everywhere I go leads me back to you.
You know how to fix totaled cars?
I do not.
How about burning cars?
No. That's very dramatic.
It's a bit over the top.
A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey now in theaters. We did watch it last week, so we are slightly behind, but not as behind as we are on other things. I'm just going to keep harping on Kuya P on this now. The film features Colin Farrell as David, Margot Robbie as Sarah, Jennifer Grant as David's mother, Hamish Linklater as David's father, the wonderful motherfucking Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the female cashier. And I love that they let her just drop as many fucking F-bombs as she wanted. Spoiler. And the amazing Kevin Kline is back for the mechanic. It was so exciting to see him. He didn't exactly look like himself throughout the film. So you felt like everyone, the moment they saw their face in the theater, was like, oh my God, it was him. It was really funny. And then, of course, we have Indy Turner-Smith as the voice of the GPS. And just going to shout out, even though I'm primarily only listing the main cast here because there is a whole bunch. The ensemble is really, really big for this film. But just to give a shout out to Youree Hecht, young David, who Kuya P got to interview for this film. Then, of course, the director was Kogonada and the writer was Seth Reiss. It does, as we always say, it does take a village to make a film, and it probably took a whole damn country to make this one, to be quite honest. It was very, very vast. But we can only say so much. We're only going to do so much. And with that, I'm going to do a quick recap of the plot. The film is still pretty new, so we're going to try and keep spoilers to a minimum, but we might get into it. It is what it is. The movie is already out. It's been out as of this recording, it's been out for a week. So with that being said, throwing my water everywhere. Sarah and David are on their way to a wedding. Well, they were at a wedding where they meet, and while they're on their way, both of them have to get rental cars. You know, it's pretty common for when you travel, and they pick up these 1998 Saturns, 1998 Saturns. I had a Saturn. I had a 1998 Saturn, not the same one, but I had a 1998 Saturn on their way, and it comes with this very interesting GPS. Push comes to shove, you know, destiny does all the things, it intertwines, and it brings them together, and they go on this big, bold, beautiful journey where they recap what they have done in their lives and how they have gotten to where they are and what they need to do next. It is a rather traditional romance story. I'm going to, huge spoiler alert, they might get together at the end. I'm sure you knew that from the trailer. But it is a traditional romance, but it is a big, bold, beautiful one that they have to, big, bold, beautiful journey that takes them to where they need to go. With that, Kuya P, initial thoughts before we went to the theater.
The trailer really grabbed me. It made me raise my expectations that sometimes you shouldn't do that, people. You should just go in, just chill. I don't know. Colin Farrell on board, that Margot Robbie, what I saw from the trailer really got me hype. So I had a certain level of expectation. So I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to, mess up my parts when I review it. So, but yeah, I liked everything from what we saw from the trailer. Got me excited.
Absolutely. And to be a little bit of head, Kuya P and I have two very different perspectives of this film. But the irony is in the similarities with our reactions to this. So this is one we will disagree on, but we're actually agreeing at the same time. It's very strange. I'm always going to see a Colin Farrell movie, and a sweet one. I have been very stressed out in my daily life, like many people. I do not want to compare and contrast, of course, but due to certain things in real life, I wanted to see something soft. I wanted to see something gentle, and no matter what this movie was going to look like it was going to be that. In my opinion, going into it was either going to be wonderful and we were going to go on this big, bold, beautiful journey, or it was going to be real freaking boring. Like, that's unfortunately what I was considering. But I wanted to go and see a movie, and this is one that seemed like it would be it would not be the latter. So with that, Kuya P, let's get right into those reviews.
Let's get into it. All right. So I don't want Heather's comments to feel like it's tainting mine. But I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to love it. I did enjoy it. I liked it. So, I'm not going to break down what Heather already said about the story, but, it goes from like like a regular people, we understand the world they're in. We know it because it mirrors our own. But then when it shoots off into the fantastical, I guess the parts that are negative to me that just threw me off is that when it switches the fantastical, it feels like it's an everyday thing for him. So it's like a living cartoon, if you will. Like, oh, I know this cartoon vibe and feeling, and I'm okay with it. I wanted it to be more of a surprise or of a turn, and I don't know if it narratively or the way it rolled out for me, at least for me during that sitting, if it transitioned like that. So one of the biggest things I think I mentioned to Heather as well is I think I need to see this again, because maybe I was just in a certain head. Again, I knew my going in, my expectations were like at a high, but also, you know, maybe I held it to too much of a high standard that I wasn't ready to go with it. But I did enjoy it. I thought Colin was great as always. Margot was great. How they meet up, interact, was good. It's just through the course of the story that as we're going in and out of time, and where the way that the plot is how they, you know, look at their past selves and see their past selves in different time periods. It was just awkward. We're dancing here, and then we're like a little sad here, and then just, I don't know. I don't feel that we learned and saw as they learned that they saw that they learned along the way until we wrap it up. And that, so it's just like a narrative piece that didn't fully grab me, even though the acting was brilliant. I do want to highlight and underscore, well, not underscore, but underline and bold what Heather said about Phoebe Waller-Bridge. That's my girl. She was killing it. I was rolling. I was laughing. Yes, please give Phoebe Waller more opportunities, all the things. And Kevin Kline, oh my gosh. I think all of us, like, it took us a few moments. Like, we knew the face, but the hair, I'm like, he's definitely, I don't know if he's Jewish, but he's definitely Heather, you know, and maybe that's, and I apologize if this is a stereotype.
A little bit stereotypy there, a little bit.
Yes, but he just looks like an old Jewish man, but I love old Jewish men anyway. So it's like, I'm not hating. I'm just, in regards to stereotypes that certain colonizers label, I'll use that. The labeling of that, use label, it fit that archetype of what colonizers label. Anyway, but I don't co-sign to that stuff. But anyway, it was just crazy. It was like, that's Kevin Kline? Oh my gosh. And we love Kevin Kline. He's amazing. But yeah, that was awesome. That was brilliant. But just, you know, as we go along through the story, there are great moments. There are parts where I'm an empath. Y'all know I cry on this. It's known here at the NRW. I cry. But it didn't hit as much as I thought certain things would hit. And then it just was like borderline on cartoon, and then we're back to drama. It's like, choose something. And then I think also the biggest thing is that a lot of this story is about trauma and like lived in trauma, because they're trying to get, that's why they're going back in time into these things to see that, to then be able to move forward and advance and now find love, because I don't want to spoil, you know, Colin had an issue back then from high school. And then Margot, because of her circumstances, was never be able to like really let herself be in love. And so again, that shouldn't be spoilers. We know this is kind of like a love story. They're meeting and then how they interact. But yeah, so it's just how the screenplay went narratively that it didn't fully click for me. And maybe that's because I had standards so high. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. And if a movie makes you want to see it again, or you're wanting to see it again, that's a plus, at least for the studio. They're getting more money out of me, and I want to see it because I enjoyed what I saw. So that's what I would say is my review, Heather. That I'm not knocking it, but it didn't sit like it sat with you.
There were some inconsistencies in the film. I do agree with that. But before I get into mine, I actually have a question for you, because one of the big negatives for me was what happened kind of at the beginning. So I'm going to begin, before I get into it, Kuyupi, my question for you is, do you think Sarah knew what was about to happen coming into the wedding? Because she was looking at him hardcore. She already seemed to know what the end of the story was going to be. So do you think she already knew what was going on?
And Sarah's Margot's character, right?
Sarah's Margot's character, yeah.
That's a very interesting question that I did not pose, or now that you're posing it, that I thought of. Thinking about what you're saying, I could agree to that in what I recall. Again, but I could see how you could say that from what I recall, and how they, yeah, like you said, when they looked at each other. Also felt it was odd with the groom and the wife, or they were just married at that point, right? When they introduced them, or were they? Yeah, because we see them, it's raining. They're already getting married. It's at the actual reception that they get introduced, right? And it felt weird when they introduced them, and then and now you have me thinking about when she looked at him, how you said that she probably had an intuition or something, or that. Nah, you're making a little sense there, Heather.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because it actually kind of diluted some of the feelings when it came to, this scene right here with them at the door. The one person that seemed to be more in game to do this, like as Kuyapi said, this kind of, instead of them being surprised, Colin Farrell's character David actually seemed legitimately surprised at times. Eventually, he kind of starts to roll with it, like, well, this is just now a thing. But he seems a lot more surprised than Sarah did, than Margot Robbie's character, and it kind of felt a little forced at the beginning, like maybe she already knew what was going on. Like she was just like, let's go in, let's do it. Oh, hey, look, there's that thing. It felt very forced. Yes, Kuyapi was raising his hand.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to mess you up. I just, whenever you had a moment. I didn't want to stop your train of thought.
Good.
What I thought as well, again, now that you have me going through memory banks to what we saw and was presented, what I also felt when they were interacting with each other, and then, when she was dancing and at the reception and he was outside and they were having conversations. I've met women like this in my life and other people and having interactions and kind of the chase, if you will, of dating and all of that she probably got made aware of him through the couple that got married. And so that's, to me, I felt like there's existing knowledge, like, hey, he's totally your type. They're trying to hook him up. But she also, we see through the film, she's very self-aware of herself and how her relationships has occurred. And so she already puts up that guard. So I felt like that was a lot of inner character work and character pieces that was put in there. So also I see your point, but I also see character development and building, that this character knows who she is. She must have got pushed on from her friends and like, hey, you should talk to him. But she's also afraid because she doesn't want to let herself go and all that. But just that quick little, to add a couple cents in my thought patterns of what you're telling me and manifesting and putting it all with the rest of the framework. Sorry.
Well, no, to be fair, that's from my point of view, this would explain why it could have ruined your opinion a little bit. She was already in, she never had to be, pushed to do any of this. She was just on like, I'm into this. I'm already into it. Whereas he needed to be a little bit persuaded at times. And that made me feel a little bit, it did make things feel a little strange. And I will agree, the pacing seemed a little bit off. And the fantastical felt a little pushed, but at the same time, if you weren't going into this movie expecting it to be fantastical, like you wanted it to be a little bit more down to earth, that could absolutely ruin it for you. The story was clearly supposed to be, you are already in a mindset of this is going to be a weird, crazy story, and none of this is going to actually make sense. P.S. When it comes to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I really, really hope that they just let her talk, because even Colin Farrell's face, like, what the fuck?
Oh my God, I loved her in this movie.
They just let her be her, and it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the acting, the pacing is one thing. When it comes to the acting, Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell are of course, they are just solid choices for these dramatic roles. And for all of you, I will continue and I will always stand on the top of this hill. I fucking told y'all that Colin Farrell has the goddamn range. And that's it. I'm going to say that forever. For all of you who hated on him for The Penguin, for all of you who hated on him for doing anything but classic comedy rom-coms, I told you. I fucking told you. He's a phenomenal actor, and his range is great. But I was happy. I was excited to see this. It's a very emotional story. I'm honestly surprised I did not cry. Now, Kuyapi is the crier in our relationship, but when a good emotional story will catch me, I will get caught. This one did not. It did not. There were very sweet moments, and there was one moment in particular with Sarah's character. It's somebody who I did not mention in the cast on purpose. Is it supposed to kind of be a surprise? But there was one moment with another character that they're just together, and they are making believe in a make-believe world. And it is a very, very emotional. It got close. I got close. But at the same time, where Kuya P and I have a variant of opinion, once again, is in the similarities. Every single person who walked out of the theater, and there weren't that many of us, I think there were like a total of 24, but every single person who walked out of that theater mentioned that it was a trauma film. This is a traumatic film where people are combating trauma. Kuya P, his trauma, his response was more of a negative, like this. I feel, and I don't mean to speak for you, Kuya P, of course. But what you said when you first got out is, I felt it. I felt like I need. And what was really funny is you had the two people you had. I need to call my mom or my dad, or I feel like I have released trauma. And that self-awareness that Kuya P just mentioned about Margot's character is that she knows who she is, and this is her acceptance of the problems that she has brought onto herself. And to me, that's a lot more important. This was more of a relief film than it was a traumatic film. You are being relieved when you are accepting the trauma that you are feeling. Trauma is not always your fault, but accepting it and understanding it is your way of moving on and doing what you need to get through it. It would be that therapy, or, I mean, or Margot Robbie, or Sarah just needs to get laid, whichever one. But I did enjoy the writing. I think the pacing was a little off. For those of you who think that this was based off of an anime that came out last year, this film was in pre-production for years, apparently. So please know that this is not. This is based off of something entirely different than the anime. So if you're concerned about this being related to something else, they are two very different films. There are many similarities, but they are two different films. I will say I do think the anime that I'm talking about, I'm not going to mention it here. Go look it up if you need to. But the anime I do think is a better overall film. This one's fun. This one's sweet. I think it's going to be on a lot of people's lists of, I need something to warm my heart so that I can break out of this reality for a little bit. You get a lot of that with like Pride and Prejudice. So the 2005 edition, you hear that a lot. I think this is going to be one of those films that people are going to lean on it. But at the same time, in Kuya P, I'm going to go straight into this part. Is it worth the money? Kuya P and I talk about the accessibility. We talk about the worth, especially in this economy. Is this film worth going to the theater for? I spent a lot of money going to the theater because it is not close. It was one that I had to go into the city to go see. And when we left, my husband said, I don't think it was worth the taxi cab. So this is my take.
Go ahead.
If you are not spending additional income, so like if you just have to get in the car, you have to go to a theater, that's fine. But if you have to use public transportation, if you haven't grabbed a meal before, or you haven't snuck in snacks, sorry, movie theaters, but financially, this movie might be more burdensome than accessible. If you want to just go see a movie where, you have breakfast, you want to go see a matinee that's lower cost, but you just need something lighthearted, even though this is heavy at times, this is a pretty lighthearted film. I think it would be worth a regular ticket or a matinee ticket. But that's because I also love these actors. I would watch Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, just her character over and over again. And I'm so excited to see Kevin Kline, just like Kuya P said, in a film again. I would honestly just watch a movie with them two in it the entire time. But when it comes down to it, in all opinions, if you really want something lighthearted that'll just break you out of reality for a little bit, matinee ticket or regular ticket. If not, wait to stream. Kuya P, what are your thoughts?
You're right. Those are good notes to put out there. We've talked about this, and I appreciate you always bringing it back because a lot of people are going through it right now. For me, having seen it, I would co-sign a matinee ticket. Or what do they do at Alamo? 2-2 Tuesday, where it's like a discounted price on those dates. So yeah, if you can get it for a discounted price, I would spend that. That I would be comfortable with. But and outside of those time frames where you're paying full price, I would have been slightly upset. I would have been entertained, but I would have been, again, I'm lukewarm on it. And I don't like being lukewarm on my money. So yeah, definitely a discounted ticket. And definitely check it when it's streaming. But yeah, I would recommend this movie to different people. It has a lot of good pluses more than negatives about it.
All right. Rogan, I think we're going to close it out with that. I think those are some good final thoughts for us, unless Kuya P has something really, really important to say.
Oh, one thing that you didn't mention that I was surprised you didn't. And I thought about you as I was watching this. This is especially when we go back to the high school sequence and Colin Farrell's younger character. He's a theater kid, man, and yeah, this is a theater kid film.
It is a theater kid. This is a theater kid film. I will accept that. Honestly, I was a little bit more creeped out about that scene than I was about anything. I loved seeing Colin Farrell singing. That's not a spoiler. It's in a trailer. But I loved seeing him singing, and I loved that little back and forth. But at the same time, I was kind of a bit more creeped out by that scene than I was by anything else.
It was cringy.
It was kind of cringy. And the thing is, it's supposed to be cringy on purpose. It's cringy on purpose. So it's like they're not making it like really, really weird, but it's cringy on purpose. And I cringed so hard. But yes, this is very much a theater kid movie. Honestly, no, this is a musical theater kid movie. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You really got to go in, but yeah.
So, shout out to my musical theater kids. Yeah, I was ready for you to say that, but you didn't. So I was like, I got to throw that in there.
I think it's because I was trying to block it out a little bit. I won't deny. Get ready to cringe, y'all, if you're going to see this. Anyway, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey is in theaters right now. Check it out if you would like to. I think that's the best way to do it. If not, definitely check it out on stream. It is worth your trauma-filled heart. We have all that trauma. We all have it at this point. For those of you who agree with Kuya P, for those who agree with me, if you don't agree at all and you thought this was the worst movie you've ever seen, you clearly haven't seen him yet. But
wow.
Hey,
I felt the same way about him with this. There's pluses in him. It doesn't land the landing. Anyway, that's the other review. Look for that. I haven't done it yet.
There are other films within that universe that are better. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, all of those things, and we will talk to y'all soon.